Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who video where today I am addressing the rumours, whatever you want to call them, that have been doing the rounds over the weekend about supposedly David Tennant returning to play the 14th Doctor. Now, of course, we've been waiting a while for an announcement of the 14th Doctor. We've reached the point where it's been the longest ever gap between Doctor announcements. Well, I guess apart from, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Chris Eccleston. But when the show's been constantly running, this is the longest gap we've ever had because I think it was June last year when they announced Jodie would be leaving. And we're here in January and we still don't have any idea. There's been many a rumour over the months, Ollie Alexander, Lydia West and the likes. I've seen Emma Tomlinson, I think, among other people, and a lot of different people being suggested for the role, whether it's in the press, whether it's on forums or whatever. But then I just feel like it's been taken up another notch this week, hasn't it? Because if you haven't, fully followed it and don't know exactly what's going on, essentially a kind of local news website called the Plymouth Herald, I think it was, posted an article claiming that David Tennant would be playing the 14th Doctor. And then so you're like, okay, this sounds pretty questionable, but okay, let's have a look at the article itself. And then you read into the article itself and you find that it is simply a fan on a Doctor Who Facebook fan page who is claiming they have a BBC source, BBC insider, somebody they know, who is telling them that David Tennant is going to be the 14th Doctor over 3 specials around the 60th anniversary, and then another Doctor is going to take over after that. David Tennant playing David's not going to, according to this rumour, David Tennant isn't returning as the 10th Doctor for these 3 specials, but he is a new incarnation of the Doctor for 3 episodes, and then there's a 15th Doctor. So yeah, and then since then various tabloid, newspapers and whatever have, re-reported this information that has ultimately been sourced from somebody on a Facebook group. So I'm sure, as you can see from the side of this video, I think this is nonsense. I don't see any reason whatsoever to believe it. I do believe the 3 specials aspect to this. Like I've seen on Gallifrey Basin forums and the likes, Reddit and whatnot, a lot of people, and there's been some what appear to be genuine leaks suggesting that there will be 3 specials around the 60th anniversary, whether it be that it's 23rd November, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, or much closer together, maybe 3 over a weekend around the 60th anniversary. I don't know, but certainly it looks very likely that's kind of the structure, is going to be 3 specials and then an 8-episode series in early 2024, which, sounds great. I'm looking forward to that. And it's also entirely possible that David Tennant could, be in those specials. He could be in 1, he could be in all 3. It could be a multi-Doctor fest with Matt Smith turning up again, Peter Capaldi turning up again, let's get Sylvester McCoy back. I don't know. I'm in no way saying that David Tennant, might well turn up for the 60th anniversary special. I'd be happy about it. I don't see any reason why that might not happen. But the idea of Jodie Whittaker regenerating into David Tennant playing a new incarnation of the Doctor just seems complete nonsense. It's the sort of thing that Doctor Who websites post on April Fool's Day to try and throw people off when it's absolute nonsense. Doctor Who is a show that thrives on and is so important for it to keep moving forwards, to keep making changes and adapting and just keep refreshing itself. And that's why, up to this point, we've always had a new Doctor. I know you can't, we had the second version of the 10th Doctor and the likes. But essentially, the main, normal Doctors, it's always been a new actor who's played the Doctor throughout the history of the show. So why would a man like Russell T Davies, who is a big fan of Doctor Who, and is also a great writer who really understands how television works, understand how Doctor Who works and how to write Doctor Who well, why would he sit there and think it's a great idea to bring David Tennant back again as a new incarnation of the Doctor for 3 episodes? Like, that just doesn't make any fundamental sense. There doesn't seem any real point to it. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with, calling back to the past or being nostalgic or whatever. As I say, there's nothing wrong with having him as part of the 6th anniversary celebrations as a returning 10th Doctor for an episode or 2. That's fine, and that's just the show, celebrating its past. It's not a show that's almost trying to rewind 12 years and go, or 13 years at that point, and go, we want to be back like what it was back in, the David Tennant days. Let's just make him the Doctor again. And it just would feel such a... It would only, portray badly for Doctor Who, as far as I'm concerned. It would just completely look like Doctor Who is a failing show, we need David Tennant to come and save it. That is all I can see it being, if, you know, the 14th Doctor is David Tennant. And I guess even alternatively, whether the 60th anniversary celebrations were to have David Tennant as the Doctor and have him as the 10th Doctor, but have him as the main Doctor of the celebrations and not introduce the new 14th Doctor until after all the 60th anniversary stuff, that again I think would not be the right approach for the show. Like, Jodie's leaving in the centenary special this year. Whatever and whenever the next episode of Doctor Who is, it's got to have the 14th Doctor in it, who is a new Doctor, a new actor to play the Doctor. I don't really, there's not really any other ideas I like outside of that, because otherwise it just doesn't feel like the show is confident in itself if it's not willing to say, we're going for a new Doctor, whether it's a man, woman, whoever, doesn't matter. But I just strongly feel that you've got to, you know, go straight in and introduce that new Doctor in that next episode. I know there is the challenge of it potentially being an anniversary special, and, you know, the timing is not ideal in that sense. But I just don't like the idea of the show basically saying, for the anniversary, we're just going to rely on the popularity of David Tennant to get us through, to try and bring some audience back. And then, you know, then we'll introduce a new Doctor once supposedly we've got some audience back. I personally think that just having Russell T Davies as the writer again will bring back a huge amount of the audience, because, you know, I think it will become very well publicised around the time, and people will just look at it as, oh, that's the guy who wrote Doctor Who when I was a kid, and I loved it when I was a kid, and then that evil Stephen Moffat man came in and ruined Doctor Who, and then Chris Chibnall, if you were still there by then, oh, Chris Chibnall, he ruined Doctor Who, and so it's going to bring back a lot of fans, I think, and a lot of people who were, you know, fans as children and maybe have grown up now, and I don't think it needs to have David Tennant as the figurehead of the 60th anniversary specials, whatever, whether he is the 10th Doctor or a new one, certainly not as a new one. I fully believe that's nonsense. And, you know, sure, I will do a video apologising to you guys and saying I was wrong if, you know, somehow he turns out to be the 14th Doctor. But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, sorry if this has felt a bit of a ranty video. I just feel very strongly about this, as you can probably tell, that it would just be such a wrong move for Doctor Who, and I just want to see Doctor Who moving forward and thriving. And, like, I have so much confidence in Russell T Davies to do that, you know, I'm ready to just ignore these sort of tabloid rumours. And, you know, well, it's not even tabloid, it's a fan on a Doctor Who Facebook page who could literally just be making it up and saying he has a source. What reason do we have to believe them if they're not willing to, you know, clarify their insider in any way, and they are just someone on a Facebook page? I could go and write that on Twitter. I could go and say, I genuinely do have people who I know at the BBC. Sure, they're nothing to do with Doctor Who, but I could go and, you know, ask some, you know, message one of my friends who works at the BBC and go, oh yeah, who do you think David Tennant's going to be the next Doctor? And they could go, yeah, sure. And then I can say, well, a BBC insider told me that, you know, the next Doctor is going to be David Tennant. Like, it's that simple. Or I could just make it up. I could type whatever I like because it's the internet. So I really don't take any stock in this at all. I think it's absolute nonsense. It's not going to happen. I love David Tennant's Doctor. He's not my favourite, but I do really enjoy his portrayal of the Doctor. I think there's so much interesting stuff, you know, featured throughout his era of the show, particularly once we sort of explore the time of victorious aspect towards the end of his era. I think all that stuff is fascinating. And so I'm in no way against him coming back for the 60th. I'd love to see any of the Doctors return for the 60th, just not as the new Doctor. So yes, guys, let me know your thoughts on this interesting topic in the comments below. Would you like to see, well, firstly, would you like to see David Tennant or any Doctors return during the anniversary celebrations themselves? But also the key thing is, would you like David Tennant to be the 14th Doctor? Or have you got any other suggestions that might be more reasonable as to who you'd like the 14th Doctor to be? Please do let me know all of your thoughts and comments below. I'm really looking forward to reading them all. But yes, guys, that's just about it for this quick little video. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button if you're new here, and I'll see you again very soon for a brand new one. But until then, it's goodbye.